Well, it's a, I don't know, beautiful, grey, rainy, miserable day on this incredible place. I really love being out here, to be honest. It's windswept, it's wonderful. And to have a little bit of time out on here is always a pleasure. And I hit like a 47, weird sort of trashy target, but I don't know yet. Coin or button? Button. Yeah, a miniature button. Very cool. Still very cool to find. Moving on. So way down in the bottom of that hole, where the Nocta pinpointer is gone, and it was a little bit deeper than that, is that beautiful buckle. Oh wow, that's lovely. Missing, unfortunately, the pin in the middle. That's a wonderful find. Wonderful. Moving on. Look at what just popped out of the ground. A little bit grunty. Thought that was going to be a button, but that looks like it's suspiciously like it's lead filled, but so I've no idea. Don't know what that is. Could be still a button. It's interesting. Moving on. You know, you're bimbling along, minding your own business, and then you get an overwhelming, loud, bust your ears kind of tone, and you think, that's got to be trash, isn't it? And then you turn over, you see that. That is a spindle whorl. Now, it took me a long time to find one of these. It's been quite a long time since I found one of these, but I have found a few in my time. And there might be, well, just as I was so rudely disturbed by the fact that my battery went dead, although it's lasted a long time, it's not so cold today. Yeah, spindle whorl. Possibly a pattern on it, not entirely sure. I will clean that up later, but that's phenomenal. Medieval, probably. Yeah, always a pleasure to find. Moving on. And always a cool find. Wherever you're out, if you find a ring, it's always a cool find, but it's not machine made. It's thinner and thicker in places. So yeah, it's quite old. Horse bridle ring of some kind, but it's got some age to it. Perfect. Moving on. That one nearly blew my ears off. So a length of lead. Now they used to carry these lengths of lead with them. Sometimes they were square, sometimes they were roughly done. This looks like it's a roughly done one. And they would carry the length around, and they would cut pieces off to make musket balls or to make potmens or anything else. And yeah, it's a very cool find. It's a piece of history. I'm very happy with that. Shows also how much has happened on this ground. I got to get more permissions here, it seems. Moving on. Well, rain might be stopping play soon. I got a 60 signal down in this hole, quite deep. I'd say 10 inches or so. Yeah, is it really? Have a look at my shovel. It was down in there. So is that 6, 8? Sorry guys, you can't see a thing. 8, maybe 9 inches down. I do apologise. Sometimes I forget that the camera's not pointing in the right direction. Ooh, look at that. It's cupronickel, I think, as far as I can tell. Oh, look at this condition of it. 1 shilling, 1957. So not silver, unfortunately. There's Lizzie there. Wonderful though, beautiful coin and in fantastic condition. Very happy with that. I'll see if the rain stops and I'll continue, but if not, then I think I'm nearly done. It's not been too bad. Moving on. Well, rain doesn't seem to be stopping, so that's a 90 screaming signal. You can see it just here. Is that pretty much on the surface? What is that? Might have to let that dry out a bit and then clean it up later. Definitely plenty of detail on it, I think. Oh, it's 1 pence. Yeah, I can see it now. Portcullis on that side and Lizzie on that side, so it's just a 1 pence coin. Moving on. Well, that's always nice to find, although I wouldn't call that a musket ball. Look at the size of that thing. Comes, you wouldn't want to be hit by that. That's crazy. Yeah, more like round shot from a cannon, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I guess they were trying to kill something quite big with that. Moving on. Now, I've just seen something. It's an 88, 89. I just flipped the clod over, but I haven't touched it yet. It's big and it's round. So, let's do this together. Yeah, it's gone on its side here. Oh, it's not a coin. Okay. And it's not fully round. Well, that's very cool. Okay. Yeah. Lots of loose dirt on this thing. I think I have to leave that and clean that up later. Yeah. Yeah. Looks very cool. Looks like there's a lot of detail on that. Okay. Wow. It's turned into a really cool hunt. Moving on. Well, check that out for a tiny find. It's a little piece of lead. Like, ooh, a half ball of lead. It's got this line through it. Now, is that a gaming piece? Is that a button? Is that something completely different? I don't know. Anyway, cool. Moving on. Well, that's a shame. That's a piece of a buckle. Really nice buckle. Shame that's not whole. Moving on. Well, at first I thought that was a button. When I turned it over, I could see that there's quite a sharp point on that. So it's a leather stud. And there'll probably be some decoration on that, so we'll clean that up later. That's a cool find. Moving on. I think it's dead, Jim. There's one very well-known YouTuber, metal detecting YouTuber, does a lot of the beaches. He says that. Got a great channel. I'll try and remember to put a link down below for him. Well, I'm nearly done for the day, I think. It's been raining off and on and off and on. And yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of a walk back to the car and see what else I find. But really, I've been very happy with today. Plenty of stuff coming up. I hope you enjoy my videos. More coming soon, and I really appreciate all of you. Thank you very much for your support. Well, let's have one last coin or button game, shall we? Screaming 73. Button, I think, no, don't know. Okay. Oh. Maybe a King Dave. Don't know if that's a button or not. We'll clean it up and have a look at it later. Moving on. So let's try and do a wrap up. Where do I go? Lead. I'm glad. Lots and lots of lumps of lead. Can't see anything on them. Yeah, strip of lead, which is always cool to find. Yeah, ring, old. Celtic ring money? No, definitely not. Stud of some kind. Quite old. Piece of a buckle. That's really nice. That's old. Look how detailed that thing is. Yeah, it must have taken some work to get that like that, because it's handmade. Yeah, it's a pity it wasn't complete. There's so much stuff in that field, but it gets ploughed a lot. So, huge musket ball. And they've just ploughed it now. I was there the day before they ploughed it. So these, I won't be able to do anything now because they'll plant it until in a year's time. I'll be back out on there. Yeah, button. Button. I don't know. Got some lead in it, so could be also be a button. Coin or button? I think it's a button because of this mark in the middle, but I'm not sure. Now this one is a very special button, as you can see. It's got special written on it, so it must make it special. A little bit of gold gilding maybe on it. Oh, this is a lovely, that's old. Beautiful leather stud. Really happy with that. Really happy with that, because that's got some age to it. That's a few hundred years old. Spindlewell, medieval. Fantastic. Love to find these. They can be very ornate. This is a reasonably plain one. Might have had some detailing on it at some point, but still a very nice find. Some interesting bits and pieces. 1 shilling in lovely condition, 1957. And just 1 penny, which was not at all what I was expecting from there. And this amazing thing, St. Anne from Brittany, well, France. She has a place of worship in Brittany, and yeah, it's Sacré Cœur de Jésus et Marie, so Sacred Hearts of Jesus and Mary. I mean, look at this thing. It's incredible, and it stands up. I don't know if you can see this. Look how thick this thing is and how thick the detailing is on it. It really stands out. Must have been an amazing thing when they had it originally. Must have been heartbroken to lose it, especially because it's come from France and must have come a long way. I don't know exactly who or why. It's fascinating for me, but yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I do have some new permissions in this area. I went door knocking. I got 1 yes, 1 no. I got a half yes, actually, because one door originally opened. The woman that I met said, yeah, fascinating, would love to know what's in the ground here. I've been here 50 years and nobody's detected. And I was like, oh, wow, detectorist dream. Come back and speak to my son.
So I went back in the evening and I spoke to the son, and he had a little think on it and decided no. But still interested, asked a few questions, so perhaps if I wait a bit and go back there in a few months' time, he might say yes. And the neighbouring farm said, oh, we've got lambs at the moment, but come back in the summer and you can fill your boots. And they have a hill fort on their ground. But obviously I won't be going anywhere near the hill fort because it's protected land. But there is an area of that land that isn't protected. So there should be, later in the year, some really, really cool videos coming. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. You never know. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching all the way to the end. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I will see you on the next one. Moving on.